All right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom, and indeed it is a battle here between the bulls and the bears for the JASMY price. That you can see with this specific daily candle that look, the fight is really ongoing. As you can see that this candle really is an indecision candle, but of course we know what is happening right at that spot and why the candle is looking like that. We have been talking a lot about the conditions that we want to see here for the JASMY price set, and I have got an update for you, possibly positive, and now we are probably leaning in the direction of continuing upward momentum here for the JASMY price set. We'll get into all the talk in today's video, but before we get there, I just want to remind you of the activity that our partners over there at BingX are offering for the crypto front community, up to $5,450 that you can claim, and also 300 ton tokens. You can use this much amount of money to go ahead and do your trades, and this can actually turn out to be something that is really great. The link will be there in the description. Of course, I want to invite you over to cf2kit.com. This is where you can find the toolkit that I prepared for you over the summer, basically teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators, become a successful trader, stop depending on other people for technical analysis, right? So let's quickly jump back into the JASMY price set. And of course, I was mentioning this indecision candle that we are seeing today, and really the reason is because of the 50 daily moving average. So we have been saying time and again that look, when JASMY is below the 50 daily moving average, more likely than not, it actually is very much bearish for the JASMY price. The good news is the bulls are actually trying to fight and win the battle here, because you can see that for the first time in a very long time, we've actually had a daily candle above the 50 daily moving average here, meaning that the tide is actually turning towards the bullish side here for the JASMY price set. Of course, that is not the only thing that is enough here, because remember, we also want to see that the RSI on the daily time frame is trending above the 60 mark. We have actually seen that this is a trend time and again. Number one condition obviously is that 50 daily moving average there, but also we want to see what the RSI is behaving like, because what has been happening in the past is that the price has actually been limited towards the 60 mark here on the RSI. So between 55 and 60 has actually been a limiting factor for the JASMY price to expand. But once you are breaking above those levels here, you can already see that the JASMY price really does well as well, and we have a sustained bounce. So when we talk about the battle between the bulls and the bears, this basically is what we are trying to say, right? I could have also gone on to give you more and more examples of this, but I think I've done that like much more in my previous videos. You can go ahead and watch them, but there are a few instances that I can go ahead and highlight here. For example, you can see in this period when the JASMY price was basically being suppressed by the 50 daily moving average, you can also see the kind of behavior that we were receiving here from the RSI. If you go back a little bit more, you can also see this period when the JASMY price was pretty much being devastated. You can also see that the limiting factor here towards an uptrend was that a 60 mark here on the RSI, and really this is where we are sitting with the JASMY price, that we're actually living the moment. And maybe you sitting back there, you probably do not feel the intensity of the moment because you're not focused on the chart very much, but this really is almost nerve-wracking because the anticipation is too much here. Right now the RSI is sitting at 55, and 5 more points you get to that 60 mark, and really this is when crazy stuff is going to be happening here for the JASMY price. So obviously you can expect either of the two outcomes, right? There's going to be a break and really the JASMY price that's starting to fly towards the upside, or it's going to be a total disaster, right? That the price is going to be rejected one more time towards the downside, and really that is not a scenario that everybody is waiting for. The good thing is that the early signs are showing that the 50 daily moving average has been broken here, and what we have actually seen in the past is that, of course, it's not like a clear break and away you go, right? So if we actually take a look at the recent success here, we had indecision candles for maybe like 3-4 days, and then from there the JASMY price was really launching towards the upside. So for me, again, a scenario in which we are playing a little bit above the 50 daily moving average is really something that I actually welcome very much, because if just a huge candle appears here, I mean, a lot of traders are going to be left on the sidelines, right? So now JASMY is trending above the 50 daily moving average. This is great news. Of course, we don't have all the confirmations. If you remember, we were also not only taking a look at the 50 daily moving average, but we were also focusing on this EMA Ribbon, and along with the RSI and the moving average as well, has been very much consistent in predicting these breakouts that we have seen in the JASMY price. For example, the situation here, you can already see that after you have played around with that, you have a clear break and close above the EMA ribbon, you are really having a very much decisive break towards the upside. Really almost the same situation back then in February 2024. You play around that level, you have a bullish cross, you have a pretty much very good sustained bounce here. So I mean, my fingers are definitely going to be crossed to see what is going to be happening here, but the early signs, as I was saying, from the 50 daily moving average are very much encouraging. So let's see if we can have a daily candle above this EMA ribbon. But as the candle is looking right now, obviously you never know how the candle is going to be closing. But if this daily candle today closes above this EMA ribbon, we have two things coming together, and that is something that is fantastic for the bulls to continue pushing the price towards the upside. If we don't get it today, we would have to wait it out probably through the weekends and try to see how things are going to be lining up. But remember this, we don't have to be polarized in one direction, just anticipating that the price maybe is going to be only going towards the upside, or saying that the JASMY price that is only going to be going towards the downside. We really have to open ourselves and try to look at which conditions are being satisfied at what moment and know which direction to take, right? So that's basically what we are doing in the Patreon. We're taking short-term trades, obviously, with the JASMY price set. The reason why we do that, obviously, is we want to build a stash of cash and not really putting more and more money. This really is a mistake that a lot of people make, right? They keep putting money into the market, and as the market continues to go down, you're really not making a lot of money. So if the market is going down but you are trading on the sidelines, it means you're generating a little bit of cash, right? And what are you doing with that money? You are also buying more cryptocurrencies, and that's what we are doing in the Patreon. I trade every now and then, and I'm giving these signals with the exact take profits and exact entry levels, stop losses, and all that great stuff, right? So we are not only doing futures, we can also do spot and anything that you really want to trade right there. So this, for example, is the latest trade that I was taking, and it was actually a success, although it was an early exit. But coming back to the JASMY price set here, after knowing all these things, I think we can also add a little bit more juice to this whole thing, and we can see that we have a fantastic pattern that is playing out nicely here. As you can see that, yeah, we have got this line here towards the downside, and then we also have got another line that is converging with that one. So we have a perfect falling wedge, and these falling wedges are very much bullish patterns. I think I say time and again that they have got like a success rate of about 70%, and 70% of what? 70% of a success to reach their price target, which usually is the top of the wedge. So if the JASMY price that is to continue from where it is sitting right now, we can anticipate that 60% to show up and hitting the technical price target of this falling wedge. But the falling wedge makes much more sense if it has got the underlying indicators in agreement. So again, our RSI is really going to be key. The 50 daily moving average, already we are breaking that, but still we need to hold it nice and easy. Right now, for full disclosure, I'm in a short position on the JASMY price. At why? Because the trend has actually been towards the downside time and again. So more likely than not, it's looking like your favor towards the downside. But as I say time and again, I don't have to be polarized in one direction. I'm very much open to closing that short position whenever I see that, look, all these things are coming up together, and then we can be longing JASMY as well. Remember, this game plan is for the trading portfolio. The holding portfolio doesn't get touched, right? So I just want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, I also want to kindly ask you to subscribe, because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis, right? Remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying anything because of anything I sell, right? So with that being said, let's call it a wrap on the front lines. I will see you on the battleground tomorrow. Bye.